True Blue Nation, Dodgers Report.
Hello, True Blue Nation. Welcome back to True Blue Nation, Dodgers Report, your channel for the hottest news and the most in-depth analysis of our Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm your host, and as always, I'm bringing you exclusive information you won't find anywhere else. Before we dive deep into today's news, which involves a potential masterstroke from our front office that could embarrass our New York rivals, I ask that if you're a true Dodgers fan and want to stay ahead of the news, please click that subscribe button now and turn on the notification bell. Your subscription helps our channel grow and ensures you get analysis like this first. Don't be left out. Join our community, the one and only Blue Crew. Now, let's get down to business. We've all been following the 2025 season with a mix of optimism and apprehension. The talent on this team is undeniable, but the raw, unvarnished truth is that we have been absolutely decimated by injuries, especially on the pitching staff. At the beginning of the season, it was our starting rotation that took the initial blow. We saw key names spend time on the injured list, forcing the front office and Dave Roberts to juggle just to field a competitive starting five each series. We overcame that, as the Dodgers always do. But now, in the second half of the season, when the games truly matter and the playoff race intensifies, our bullpen has become the target. What once looked to be one of our greatest strengths, a super bullpen assembled with significant investment in the offseason, is now showing worrying cracks. The situation has become so critical that we're seeing the depth of our organization tested to its limits. Young prospects are being called up. Veterans are being overworked, and with every high-leverage inning, we, the fans, are holding our breath. The front office, led by Andrew Friedman, spared no expense during the winter. They brought in names like Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates, hoping to create an elite unit, a wall at the end of games. However, injuries and inconsistencies have turned that fortress into an area of uncertainty. And it's precisely in this scenario of need that a fascinating opportunity arises, one that aligns perfectly with the Dodgers' philosophy and carries a delicious bonus, teaching the New York Yankees a real lesson. I'm talking about former All-Star closer Devin Williams. Yes, the same Devin Williams who for years was one of the most dominant weapons in the National League with the Milwaukee Brewers, known for his devastating changeup nicknamed the Airbender. Following a high-profile trade to the Yankees, Williams is enduring an absolute nightmare season in the Bronx, and this is where the story gets interesting for us. According to information from very reliable sources in the league, like the respected MLB writer Robert Murray, the Dodgers aren't just a good landing spot for Williams. We were already eyeing him before. Murray reported that before Williams was traded to the Yankees, the Los Angeles Dodgers were one of the teams that engaged in serious talks with the Brewers. We wanted him. The deal didn't materialize, and we pursued other avenues. But that initial interest never faded. Now, let's analyze Williams' situation. He's having a disastrous year, statistically speaking. His ERA is sitting at 5.36. For a pitcher of his caliber, that's alarming. However, as I always say here on the channel, we need to look beyond the surface numbers. The advanced stats tell a different and much more promising story. Williams' expected ERA, xERA, is 3.40, and his FIP, fielding independent pitching, is 3.38. What does that tell me as an analyst? It tells me that he's been on the receiving end of a considerable amount of bad luck, perhaps combined with subpar defense and the intense pressure of playing in New York. These indicators suggest that his pitching process, the quality of his stuff, is significantly better than the final results have shown. He is still striking out batters and limiting walks and home runs at a rate far more consistent with an elite pitcher than his inflated ERA would suggest. There is one point of concern, of course: his fastball velocity. It has dropped from an average of 94.7 mph last season to 94.0 mph this year. It's a subtle dip, but for a power pitcher, it's something to monitor. It could be a sign of fatigue, a minor mechanical issue, or the result of the mental strain from a bad season. However, this is exactly the kind of situation our front office loves. An elite player with a proven track record who is struggling and consequently has a depreciated market value. He will become a free agent at the end of the season. And with such an underwhelming performance, it's almost certain he'll be seeking a one-year prove-it deal to re-establish himself and return to the market in a stronger position next year. And what is the best place in baseball for a pitcher to resurrect his career and prove his worth? Exactly, Dodger Stadium. This is where the genius of our front office, the Dodger way, comes into play. Think about the track record of Andrew Friedman and his team. How many times have we seen them take a player who was discarded by another organization or who was coming off a down season and turn him into a cornerstone piece? It's a long and impressive list. From Chris Taylor to Max Muncy to pitchers like Tyler Anderson and Andrew Heaney, who had career years under our tutelage. Our organization has the best player development structure in the league, with cutting-edge technology, elite coaches, and an environment that allows athletes to focus on optimizing their performance. We don't just sign talent, we reclaim it and elevate it. The idea of bringing in Devin Williams fits this philosophy like a glove. It would be a low-risk, extremely high-reward move. The financial risk would be minimal. A one-year contract, likely with incentives, for a pitcher who, less than 12 months ago, was considered one of the top 5 relievers in the game. The reward, if our pitching brain trust led by Mark Pryor can make the necessary adjustments, perhaps a small tweak to his mechanics, a shift in his mental approach, or simply the confidence of playing in a system that believes in him, we could have a rejuvenated and dominant Devin Williams for the stretch run, and more importantly, the postseason. Imagine a bullpen for October with names like Evan Phillips, Bruce Doc Gradero, and a Devin Williams back in his all-star form. It would be simply lethal. And now, let's add the extra layer that makes all of this even more savory for us, the Blue Crew. We would be signing a player that the Yankees couldn't fix. The Yankees, with all their mystique and resources, watched an elite talent decline under their watch. To pick him up and turn him back into a star in Los Angeles wouldn't just be a win for our roster, it would be a statement. It would be to embarrass a rival organization, proving that our development system and our culture are superior. It would be a strategic and moral blow. In a rivalry that spans the country, these kinds of off-field victories carry immense weight and resonate throughout the league. We would essentially be saying, your trash is our treasure. And there's nothing a Dodgers fan loves more than getting the better of the Yankees in any aspect of the game. This scenario proposed by Robert Murray isn't just wishful thinking, it's based on logic, precedent, and our team's documented interest. With the urgent need for reliable arms in the bullpen and Williams' impending free agency, the convergence of factors is almost too perfect to ignore. It is a classic Friedman-era Dodgers move. Calculated, intelligent, with the potential for a massive return on investment and the added bonus of asserting our organizational dominance. In summary, the possibility of signing Devin Williams to a one-year prove-it deal for 2026 is one of the smartest strategies the Dodgers could pursue this offseason. He represents the perfect storm, an elite talent at a low point, a clear need on our roster, a reduced financial cost, and the opportunity to strengthen our team while weakening a rival's narrative. The Dodgers' track record of reclaiming pitchers speaks for itself, and the analytical data suggests Williams is much closer to his dominant form than his current ERA indicates. But now, I want to hear from you, True Blue Nation. Do you believe this would be a masterstroke by Andrew Friedman, or is the risk associated with his velocity dip and his terrible season with the Yankees too great? Would you give Devin Williams the chance to wear Dodger blue and redeem himself, or would you prefer the front office to invest in other options on the market? Leave your comments below. I read absolutely all of them. And let's start the debate. If you enjoyed this in-depth analysis, don't forget to leave a like, share this video with other Dodgers fans, and most importantly, subscribe to True Blue Nation, Dodgers Report. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss an update. Here you'll always get the news first and with the most complete and well-founded analysis. Thanks for watching, and let's go Dodgers.